Okay, so today is Monday, January 29th, and I'm super excited about our team call tonight because I feel like the information and the valuable knowledge and experience and storytelling that we're going to get from our speaker, Rachel Johnson, on our team is just going to be, I feel like it's going to be so relatable to so many coaches on our team, and I'm just really excited for it. So we have been kind of talking about this and planning on her doing one of our team calls for several weeks. So I'm glad that I feel like it's kind of coming at the perfect time too with us going into February and Team Cup. And we have a bunch of new coaches on Team Cup teams. So it's just going to be some good stuff. So Rachel Johnson is going to be leading our call. She's going to be talking a little bit about her story, how she's been so insanely successful. She started officially coaching back in October. She's hit Success Club 10 and beyond every single month. She went Emerald really fast. She's on track for Diamond. She's a success starter, meaning she hit Success Club her first 3 months as a coach and won a free ticket to Summit. So just lots of goodness. So I'm super excited to hear what she has to say. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and turn off my video, and then at the end we'll just kind of do some Q&A and see what everybody else has to say. So Rachel, take it away.
Okay, hey everyone, I am so excited to be here and share my story. So I just kind of wanted to start with a little bit about me because we don't know each other. So I am a teacher. I teach second grade here in Conroe, Texas, and I have a 16-month-old daughter, and so that's kind of what brought me here, and just a little bit of my backstory. So growing up, eating healthy, we just really didn't do that. I mean, we didn't drink Cokes and eat a lot of sweets, but we also didn't eat healthy, and it wasn't a conversation that we had about exercising. So as I got older and into high school, I'm tall, so I'm 5'7", and all my friends were always short, and they were always so tiny, and I didn't play sports. I showed animals. So that part of my life was just kind of not there. And so I did some yo-yo dieting in high school, actually some more like starvation dieting, lost a ton of weight, then went to college and gained to like freshman 20. And so I tried fad diets. We did the liquid diet. I did all kinds of things that were never successful. And then I got engaged, and of course I was like, oh, I need to lose weight for the wedding. And so I went on a broccoli, chicken, and fish like 10-week boot camp, and I did lose weight, but quickly after the wedding, I obviously stopped doing that and gained it back, and I'm rambling, but then we found out we were pregnant. So while I was pregnant, I gained 65 pounds, and those of you who have little ones know that that baby weight is hard to get off, and it was a lot harder than I had even expected it to be. So in January, I guess, of last year, my daughter was right at 4 months old, and I was like, I've got to do something. So I joined one of Beth's challenges, and I just did 3 days of working out, and I followed the meal plan, and I was successful as far as I lost 12 pounds in that challenge, and then I kind of fell off the bandwagon again. And I was just I had been watching her story forever, and I was watching in October, and I was like, you know what? There is no reason that I can't do what she's doing. And so I went all in, and I was like, okay, I want to sign up as a coach. I want to coach. I want to take notes during this challenge. I want to get results during this challenge. So the October challenge, I stuck to my meal plan 100%. I did my workout every single day because I wanted results. I wanted testimony to be able to share, to get people excited about Beachbody. And so I was like, I'm going all in and I'm doing this. So I did, and I was very successful in her October challenge. And so I was able to have some really good transformation photos that just, I got an abundance response. I mean, overwhelming response from people that wanted to do what I was doing. And because I believe in the program, I think that is really where my success starts. So I believe in Shakeology. I believe that drinking it every day, I, knock on wood, I have not been sick at all. I feel great. I have energy. And also I'm taking care of myself in my nutrition. So I think being a product to the product is huge. So during that challenge, I kind of was leaving little breadcrumbs throughout the entire challenge to my social media. That was before I even presented to them that I was going to be doing my very own challenge. So I was talking about my results. I was talking about how I was feeling. I was posting my meals and my little portion containers. So I was just kind of sharing with them what I was doing without, I was promoting the business, but I wasn't promoting any kind of challenge group necessarily. So that was my really, I feel like that just kind of set me up for success. So believing in the products and really talking about how they have changed your life will convince people, because what I have found out is being predictable intrigues people. So when you're consistent and you're predictable, you intrigue people, because as bad as this sounds, they're waiting for you to stop. So they're thinking, oh, this is a fad. This is the next fad diet. This is the next, oh, Shakeology. This is the next thing. But it's not, because it's a lifestyle. And when I got people to realize it was a lifestyle and I was eating real food, I was doing 30-minute exercises. This shake was a meal replacement or a snack replacement. It wasn't some drink I was drinking for energy. It was actually giving me nutrients. That's when I feel like I really got successful, because it's not a fad and it's a lifestyle. So be predictable, be consistent, be a product of the product, because when you keep going, people will start watching you and they'll start following you like, oh, this really is working. What is she doing? I want to know more. Okay, so that's just kind of like where I started in my journey. And then, sorry, I have some little notes over here. Oh, and so then I really want to talk about this, my mindset. So my very first accountability group I hosted in November, and I was scared out of my mind. And Beth asked me if I wanted to co-host one. And I said, no, I want to go all in. I want to do it by myself, because if I do it by myself, I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone, and I am forcing myself to have people sign up, because I don't want to have an accountability group with just me. That's not fun. So my mom committed, and at the time she was using my workouts, and I had given her some Shakeology that I had. I ordered the try combo, and I really wasn't a fan of the strawberry. So I'd given her some, and I was like, okay, if you'll commit with me, I'm going to do this challenge group. And I don't even care if you're the only person in it. I'm doing it, and I'm going full force. And this is what we're doing. And every day it was like, oh, I'm signing a new person up on my challenge group. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And do not eliminate. I have people who have been on they're on their third challenge, and they don't do Beachbody products at all. I have a runner, I have CrossFit. So, but those people help inspire others. And I have one that just placed her first order of Shakeology, because she's like, okay, all your challengers are doing this, something is working. So don't eliminate anyone, and especially don't eliminate anyone when you're inviting. So it's so crazy to think about, because the people you think that are going to say yes and go all in and see your results and believe in you don't always do that. So don't get discouraged, because I have a team of teachers who have basically watched me. I mean, they're at my school. I mean, we work together every single day, and not one of them wanted to be in the challenge. And I kind of got my feelings hurt, and I was like, like, this is working for me. I'm proving that it works. Why don't you want to sign up for this? And they just did it. And I never pressured it. And I just kind of opened up the floor like, hey, I'm hosting my own challenge group. I'll be doing the exact same thing if you want to do it. And then my sister-in-law, she was like, not doing that. And then 2 of my cousins, they're like, not doing that. So I was like, kind of a little bit feeling defeated. Like, if the people that really love me don't even believe in me, how are people that don't really know me going to believe in me? How are they going to trust me with a lifestyle change if my own close-knit friends and family don't? But I was so surprised, because there are people that even reached out to me that I hadn't talked to in 10 years, that were mutual friends, that were coworkers. I mean, I had parents of my old students. So do not eliminate anybody when you're inviting, because I feel like the people that you think would be least interested and least likely to sign up end up joining a challenge. So don't eliminate anyone. Okay, and that leads me into inviting and forming those relationships. So what I really try to work hard on is finding people on my social media and finding people in life who can relate to me as a person in my life currently. So I have a little girl, so I can relate when people post things about their kids. I can be very relatable to them, and in comparison to my daughter Millie. So that is really helpful, or teaching is really helpful, or stuff with postpartum is really helpful. So think about your story and what you bring to the table, because even if you're like, well, I don't have a good story, because I think that too, like, I don't have a good story. But so many people would be like, oh my gosh, I had such trouble losing that baby weight. And I was able to inspire them to join and do it with me. So people would comment and I would comment back. And if people would like my post, I would track them. And so when I would see them post something, I would start commenting on it and liking it. So as soon as they liked my post or commented my post, I didn't directly message them immediately, and unless they were asking for like specific information and really wanted that information right now. I kind of gave it a few days, or I say I gave it 4 to 7 days to kind of let that relationship fester. We just had a kind of a conversation through commenting, which you think is so minute, but it's really not. It really is powerful. And then I would message them and be like, hey, I'm doing this really awesome thing. It's through Beachbody, and I just kind of give them all the perks. Like, you get a meal plan, you get unlimited recipes, there's a cooking show, you can stream your workouts from anywhere. They're only 30 to 40 minutes. You can work out from home. So I really kind of give them the perks without going on and on and on. And that was the problem I had. I feel like when I very, very first started, I would ask, like, how do I not, like, I'm so excited about this. How do I not like throw up Beachbody in their face? So I would give them the perks and say, like, leave it open-ended. I would say, like, hey, after I finished, if you're interested, let me know. I can get you plugged in. If you want more information, let me know. So I really focused on when you're forming relationships, you don't want to message someone who you haven't talked to in years and be like, hey, I'm doing this thing, this challenge thing. Do you want to join? So, because I feel like they would be apprehensive when it comes to that. So that is kind of my tactic or goal when I am inviting, is really focusing on the relationship that I have with that person and thinking about, okay, how do I know them? Do I know them for a mutual friend? Are we just like, have I ever met them in person? Are we just like social media friends? And so I go that way inviting. And I also am very careful when, so say someone just had a baby and you're like, oh, they would be perfect. They want to lose that baby weight. I was always very careful because you don't want to offend someone who's at a sensitive time in their life. So you want to help people. That's why we're here, right? We're helping them. We're bringing them on a lifelong journey. So we don't want them to have a bad taste in their mouth about us, because we want to be inspirational to them, and we don't want them to have a bad taste in their mouth about Beachbody, because we want them to do it with us. So when people like, just a girl just signed up who has not a brand new baby, but I think maybe 5 months old. And I just started by commenting on all of her pictures, like hashtag baby fever. Oh my gosh, you look so awesome after that baby, which she did. And he's so cute. So I was just kind of getting my name and getting my face. She was used to seeing me and talking back and forth. So when I did send that message, it wasn't weird. I knew she was following me because she was commenting on me. So don't eliminate anybody. Anybody can sign up, and the people that you would least likely to sign up sometimes want to join. And one last thing, I feel like I'm rambling, is don't get discouraged when someone doesn't respond, or your conversations you think are going nowhere, because I've been advertising for a February group, and a girl I invited to my November group didn't even respond to me. Like, she didn't say anything to me. And I was like, okay. And so I hadn't followed up with her. I was just kind of like, oh, she's not responding. We'll kind of see where it goes. And she messaged me actually yesterday. She said, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to go all in. Let's do this. And it's like, and she's like, I've been following you. If you can do it, I can do it. Okay, I'm doing this. So don't give up. Keep posting, because even when you think no one's watching, they are. They're curious about what you're doing. They want to know how you're getting results. And that takes me back to being consistent, because as bad as it sounds, people are expecting you to stop. They're expecting you for this to be a fad, and it's not. It's a lifestyle change. And when I say, guess what? I get to eat 3 meals a day and eat snacks without eating grilled chicken for every meal. They're like, what? So if you have, I'm trying to think, I think that's all I wrote down. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions for me.
Oh, I got stuff.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have a couple things, and I have a couple questions that I want you to try to answer for things that I feel like I've had conversations with other coaches on our team, things that you kind of touched on. I want you to kind of elaborate just a little bit, because some of those coaches are on this call, and I think it's just really useful information. But first of all, I want to kind of backtrack and just bring up your story for a second, and how our stories, and like the reason why I was really hopeful that you would share part of your story is because it's so closely connected and tied to our why behind this business, right? It's gonna be like what pushes us through on those days where We don't want to wake up the extra hour earlier. We don't want to go to bed later. We don't want to work our business, but we know that we have a responsibility to do because this business is our passion, regardless of sort of what your goal with the actual business is. The work that we do, you obviously have a passion for. So I am a firm believer in the fact that our stories are important and they matter. And especially when you're sharing, like knowledge and tips and tricks and guidance with our team or with other coaches in the network, I just love hearing people's story because I feel like you better understand how and why they work their business the way they do. So thank you for sharing that, first of all. So some of these notes here are just notes, and some are, hold on, let me shut my office door. And some are questions. So I'm just going to kind of go through them. I love how you talked about how whenever you kind of dabbled in one of my groups last January, and then you came back in October, and you finally just decided there's no reason I can't do what she does. And I wrote that down because that is like whenever I'm posting on my Instagram stories or I'm sharing something about the business or an accountability group on my social media pages, that is what I'm thinking when I'm creating that post and when I'm writing that post or sharing that Instagram story breadcrumb. I'm talking to my avatar, right? Like the girl who is in a similar situation as me or who struggles with the same things I do that I know I can help. And I want them to think that when they're looking at that post or watching that video on my story is there's no reason I can't do what she does. And so I love that, like that is sort of like your gateway into what has sparked like this insane drive and passion for this business for you. So I really love that. Of course, I am like, whenever you were talking about your results and your mindset going into that first group and how you were, I didn't even know this about your story, how you were like breadcrumbing what you were doing before you were even like really a coach while you were a challenger. I just love that because that is what we do. Curiosity marketing, right? Like all we do is share our story. We share what we're doing. You don't ever have to even mention Beachbody or Shakeology, but you just share it in a way that comes natural and that literally just signifies all of the work that you're doing. And it kind of reiterates that point that we hear so oftentimes, in trainings on the Beachbody Champions page and in the National Wake Up Call when they say to stay in phase 1, which essentially means always be a customer. And that is like, you are so successful in this business for lots of reasons. One of them being you are a challenger. And that's why I love 80-Day Obsession because I haven't been a challenger in a long time. I'm not going to lie. Like I lead accountability groups every single month, but I don't act like a challenger in those groups. I act like a coach running that group. And I feel like when that starts to happen, you need to get yourself in check because you lose sight of the root of what we do as coaches. And so stay in phase 1 and always be a customer. I thought that you like really hit it home with that. And I think that is another sort of really foundational and important piece of your story is that is how you fell in love with this business is because of what being a challenger did for you. And same thing for me. I wasn't in an accountability group and I didn't have a coach or anything, but completing one of our programs from start to finish is literally what changed my life and forced me to want to do this business. So I just kind of wanted to reiterate that so that everybody would remember to keep that in mind. You talked a lot about consistency, which is something that I think you have down to like a science. I wanted to ask you to share with everybody, what is it that, because there are hard days, right? Like there's days where you get a lot of no's or where it's the end of the month and you're really pushing for Success Club 10 and you finally get your 10th point at like 11:30 p.m., which I think happened to you one time.
Yes.
So how do you, like on those days, how do you stay consistent even when it's easier not to? Like what sort of, like what do you tell yourself? What do you force yourself to do? Because I know like for me, on the days that I don't feel like showing up, I force myself to like either send 5 invites or press play and drink my Shakeology anyways. And then that sort of sparks like, okay, I'm going to get this done and this done. And then that is sort of like a catapult for me, but I know everybody's different. So I'm just curious, like, how do you push through and stay so consistent even when you don't feel like it?
Okay. So there has been so many times when I get discouraged and I'm like, oh, like I'm so tired. I don't have time. My kid won't stop crying. Like, what am I going to do? So then I think that's where, this sounds cliche, but that's where my why comes in. Like, I want to stay home with my baby so bad that I know that I have to push through. And I know that people are watching, and that's so huge in the accountability. And so my workout is what sparks me to get my rear end in gear. So this is a little helpful trick, but if you set your clothes out the night before and you take a picture of those and post it on your social media about how helpful it is to post or to take your workout clothes out, guess what? You're going to put your workout clothes on because you don't want to look silly because you put your workout clothes out to make it look like it's so easy, and then you don't even get up to do it. So I think that really sparks me when I get my workout done. So I'll drink my Energize, and that's another thing. I'm like, I can't just let this go to waste. Like, I drank my Energize. I have to get moving. And also, this is another thing that helps me is looking in my back office. So when I look in my back office and I'm like, oh my, I haven't made a sale since the 15th and it's the 30th. Like, what am I doing? So then I start reflecting. I'm like, okay, I know I can do this because I've proved to myself that I can do it. And what am I going to do to keep pushing forward? So I think that's so important. And Beth says this all the time, but check your back office every day, because once you get that little bit of commission, I mean, I think my first little thing I saw in my back office might have been like $17. And I was like, what? $17? I'm going to go to Wild Ginger, and you know what I mean? I can buy a meal for that. So once you get that little bit of taste in your mouth of success, it really pushes you to move forward every month. Because if I did it in November, guess what? Why can't I do it in December? Why can't I do it in January? So I think that is key. That is key. Keep your why in mind and find out what gets your butt in gear. Because guess what? There's days that I sit at this computer and I look at Success Club 5 and I'm like, oh, I don't want to send 10 invites today. I really don't want to. I don't want to have conversations on my phone. My head hurts. I just don't want to do it. But then I do it, and guess what? 10 people might not respond. So then the next day I do it again. So I think that's so important, is don't let yourself get discouraged, because no matter what, this is a business. And if you think about any business, think about, they have months where their sales are down, and they have months where no one believes in their products. So I think that's so important, that remember that you believe in this. Remember that, yes, it is a business, but you're also changing people's lives. So, I mean, I mentioned about the money, and it's great to have, $17 is $17. That's great, but you can't think about people as money. You have to think about people as people. And I'm just going to share a quick story. Sorry, this is a long response, but one of my challengers messaged me today, and she was just saying how, she used to take diet pills. She used to starve herself. She used to be so unhappy. And she is a friend of my best friend. So I know about her through my best friend. I've never even met this person in real life. She's been in my accountability group. She joined in December. And you really are changing people's lives because you're believing in them and you're teaching them to believe in themselves. And if you think about today, we are surrounded by people who don't believe in us. They don't believe in the good. They don't believe in the things that make people happy. So to be that person, you really are making a difference. So I encourage you to really view people as people, even if they're a little bit negative in the beginning, because I had a challenger who was a little negative in the beginning, and she was like, I can't do this. This program isn't working for me. And I just kept telling her every day, like, I believe in you. You can do this. Stay consistent. Let's work together. We can look at your meal plan. What are you doing? And now she is like a top challenger, and she joins my challenge every single month. So just remember that this is a business, but there are people involved who matter. So I don't want you to ever lose sight of that.
Yes, 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 yes. I think that you will see a direct reflection in your business, in the growth of your business, and fiscally, financially, when you lose sight of the fact that our primary responsibility is to help other people. And if you keep like laser focused on that mission, that goal, then guess what? The Success Club points are going to come because you're continuing to help more people. And those people are going to continue to have success in your challenge groups because you're fostering those relationships and you're helping them. And then they are just naturally going to want to do what you do and do this business. So I think that is an excellent piece of advice. I am absolutely the same way with holding myself accountable on social media. Outside of the fact that that is our platform for inspiring and motivating and sharing value and pouring value into other people's lives, it is our accountability system, right? Like people, just like your challenge group, like your challengers expect you to show up and do the program with them. So shift your mindset to think about your social media in the same way. I know for me, even if the day totally gets away from me and I don't make a single post, I will post a workout selfie. Even if it's a terrible one, even if like I don't really have anything to say with it, but it drives me crazy to go to my Instagram feed and know that there's like a big gap missing from day like 10 to day 15 of my program. So I think that that is awesome advice. Okay, I have lots of other notes, but just two more questions really. Can you kind of explain really quickly what what you would consider your power hour? Like what are your non-negotiable daily business activities? Like every single day, even if you only have 60 minutes to work your business, what are the things at the top of that to-do list that you will not let go undone before you go to bed at night?
Okay. So I get my workout done in the morning, and I check in my challenge group in the morning. So I get that done first thing. And then I find little times during the day, sometimes to post a picture, sometimes to respond to someone. So during the day are just kind of like, if I have a second here, I take it. If I have a second here, I take it. I can't really work through lunch because at Youth My Team, it's like really awkward. So I just find like anytime I have a few minutes. But my main power hour is from 8 to 9:30, and if we have a call, it's normally from 8:30 to 9:30. So so what that includes is as soon as I put my daughter down and get the kitchen cleaned, I come in here, and the first thing I do is look at my back office. So I look and see if I have any new customers. So I don't know, I think we're all fairly new, but sometimes if someone signs up for Beachbody and they don't have a coach, you might like get a random person. And so it's very important to reach out to them and not let them just sit in your back office for like 5 days and then reach out to them. So, and I check my back office every single day because I want to see my Success Club points. I want to look at my commission. I want to look at my customers. And I also check, I just started doing that this month because I didn't even realize like I should be doing that, is I check my Shakeology like reorders, like people who signed up for a challenge maybe in November, are they still reordering from me? So I do that. And then I do 20 minutes of personal development. After I do my personal development is when I do my invites, because my personal development normally gives me some motivation, yes, but some, I'm trying to think how to put it, like words of wisdom, that confidence. Like when I'm inviting, I feel good. So right after I read my personal development, I do my inviting directly after that. And I probably waste a lot of time when it comes to this, but I don't ever copy and paste an invite to more than one person because it's not personal. And even if it sounds personal, it's not. And you know, deep and down, it's not personal. And I do this because I have personal experience from receiving a message about Plexus 6 weeks after I had my baby, 6 weeks after I had gained 65 pounds, 6 weeks after I had zero sleep. And one of my very good friends received the exact verbatim message. And it just offended me, like, oh, I'm just a paycheck. Like, I'm not even a person. So when I invite, yes, I say similar things, but I always try to be relatable. I'm like, hey, how are you? I saw your daughter had the flu. I hope she's feeling better. So I never start off with, hey, girl, you want to join my challenge? So I for sure, no matter what, send 10 invites. Right after my personal development. And also I do follow-ups. So people who have been in previous challenges, I don't have a ton of these just because I'm just getting started, but I have a list of people that like continue challenges and then don't, and I try to follow up with them. I'll see they're still ordering Shakeology, so maybe they just thought, a lot of people think this too, they think that to join another challenge they have to pay another challenge pack price. And so that's important to let them know that it's free to them. Like if they're already drinking the Shakeology, it's free to them. Like I am accessible to them because I'm their coach for the rest of their time that they want to be part of Beachbody. So I think that's very important to let them know. And I'm getting better at this. This kind of has just started this month, inviting people to the challenge or to the coaching opportunity, even if it's uncomfortable. Even if I have to like pray and send the send button, I still do it. So those are my like non-negotiables that I practice every single day from 8:30 or 8 to 9:30, depending on the day.
Love it. I don't have anything to follow that up with because you covered all of it. I love it. Does anybody we'll just kind of open the floor for a couple of minutes. Does anybody have any specific questions about anything that Rachel talked about or anything that she didn't that you want to know or anything? Okay, well, somebody can jump in if they need to while we're wrapping up, but I just want to say I'm so proud of you. Like, I'm not going to be able to talk about it very much because I will get really emotional because I don't know. I mean, well, you do know, like what this business means to us and to, just like all the feels that it gives, and to like see one of your coaches like have this kind of success so quickly, and to just talk about the business in a way that, like, I was walking around my kitchen with my headphones on, finishing up supper while you were talking in the beginning. And I was just like, yes, like, I'm so proud. Like, I don't know, like when somebody and you guys will, like, you will experience this as you continue to grow and build your team. But like when you find your people and your tribe, it's just like, not only are you helping people get healthy and happy and live more fulfilled lives in your accountability group, but you're building like this tribe of people who just like get you, even if you've never even met them before. And that is just like, I'm so confident that is like the piece of this puzzle that makes all of this work. It makes accountability groups work to get, physical and mental and emotional results in terms of health and fitness. And it's what makes this business work in terms of being able to stay at home with your babies, or, quit your full-time job or retire your spouse, or whatever your goals are with the business. So I'm going to bed with a full heart tonight because you were so kind enough to share all of this with our team. If anybody comes up with a question or, a follow-up question or anything, you can reach out to Rachel. You can post on our team page. And then this call is recorded, so the recording will be uploaded to YouTube and posted in our page first thing in the morning. So you can always go back and kind of, take notes and stuff. Rachel, do you have anything else?
I don't think so. Thank y'all so much for listening. This was my very first share. So I hope y'all enjoyed.
Awesome. Okay, well, we'll talk to you guys later.
Okay, bye.